So I had to go. And I found out, to my great surprise, I love singing in prison. It's my favorite place to sing. And I want to tell you why that is. You know, my background includes atheism, also includes alcoholism. I am a real alcoholic. When I drink, there's no telling. There's no telling how much I'm going to drink, what's going to happen, where it's going to end. I drank alcoholically for 20 years, beginning when I was 13 years old. And by the time I was 33, my drinking had progressed to about a bottle of whiskey a day. I had lost a beautiful young wife and 2 wonderful children. I'd ruined my career. I'd lost a bunch of money and property, and I richly earned my own place in prison. Committed a serious crime. Could have got me 4 or 5 years. I looked it up. But I'm a good liar. Nobody knew what I had done. Got away with it. And one morning, when I was 33 years old, kind of summertime, give or take, 1986, I woke up shaking. Had the shakes. That concerned me because alcoholism, there's a progression, and that is the beginning of the end. Shakes, DTs, seizures, death. And I knew that, and I started looking for help. I ended up in an anonymous 12-step fellowship. They said, and I did not like to hear this, they said the solution is a relationship with God. And I thought, you bunch of wackos, what am I doing in a place like this? But thank goodness I was desperate, and I just stayed anyway, because I knew I had to stop. And I did everything they said to do, and I did stop. I stopped drinking abruptly. September 4th, 1986, was the last day I had a drink or a drug. And I haven't started again. It's been over 34 years since I've had a drink or drug. And after a while, technically speaking, I stopped being an atheist. Technically. I began to say, okay, there is a God. I don't know who he is. I don't think you people down here in Weslaco, Texas know who he is. I never would have come here to ask you because I didn't like organized religion. But 9 years after I got sober, I met that pastor in Alaska, and he taught me about Jesus, and I got the gift of faith. But here's kind of the rest of the story. At about 8.5 years sobriety, I started thinking about suicide. I felt like I'd ruined my life. My ex-wife still hated me. My kids didn't want much to do with me. My career was still in the tank. I was broke. I'd blown all the money. I'd broken the laws. And the worst thing was how I felt about the way I'd hurt those people who loved me the most. That's who an alcoholic hurts the most. Don't be deceived. The people who suffer the most are the ones who love the alcoholic the most. And that's what I did. And I could not forgive myself, even though everybody said I should. I couldn't. And that's when I met that pastor. And that day that I knew that because of the blood on the cross, that God now sees me. Me. I haven't even told you the very worst parts about me, but it's bad. God sees me as innocent, beloved, holy. Got a place in heaven for me. When I knew that was true, this weight came off my back. I was set free. I go into prisons. I've done 28 prison concerts. I don't get to do it very much, but I love doing it. I always see right away there's no difference between me and these men, except they got caught and I didn't. Otherwise, I could be one of them easy. And the other thing is, I've come to know that in any group of inmates, there's always at least some guys who are also carrying that terrible burden of self-hatred and guilt and shame on their backs. They really, really need Jesus, just like I needed Jesus, you know. I'm not a preacher, but they let me take that guitar, just the guitar, nothing else. They let me take that guitar and go in and sing to the guys for 45 minutes and tell them my story. I love doing it, you know. It's my favorite place to sing. Here's a song about something that we did at the beginning of worship. It's about confession and repentance and forgiveness. I always sing it to the guys. I think it's important. Forgive me I didn't know that it was wrong. Still I played along. I went ahead. Forgive me for even letting it begin. I was weak, wanted to be taken in, saw the danger there, but I said I didn't care. I went ahead. It makes my bones ache and I can't sleep, and how my spirit cries out for peace. I'm worn out from my tears. Take my prayer, I know you hear. Love me, Lord, even though I hate myself. Just for me, you took the punishment of hell, bled for me and died, but I threw your gift aside. I'm sorry, Lord, and I accept what happens now. You'll take and shape it for good somehow. I don't know what to do, but I'll go on knowing you forgive me. They call it Amazing Grace. You want to hear something amazing? I had a little extra time after I got the equipment set up this afternoon, and I reclined. I like to sleep on pews. I don't know, it's peaceful for me. I reclined on that pew right there, and I returned a call that I'd missed from the mother of my children, that lady that got rid of me when I was a drunk. And in the course of that call, she said something to me that never fails, put a smile on my face. She said, I needed to talk to you so bad. You're one of my best friends. Isn't that something? I stayed with her and her husband last March when I was in Seattle. You know, my kids get mad because they don't think I come to see them enough and see my grandsons. Amazing Grace, you know. Anyway, back to Pastor.